Some places on Earth are not meant for humans. They exist in complete darkness, hidden beneath the surface, waiting for the unfortunate soul who dares to enter. On November 24th, 2009, a man named John Edward Jones squeezed into one such place, a narrow, twisting cavern known as Nutty Putty Cave in Utah. He never came out. This is the tragic and terrifying true story of the Nutty Putty Cave disaster. Nutty Putty Cave is a hydrothermal cave system with a reputation. Its tunnels are tight, its passageways unforgiving. It had already trapped multiple cavers before, leading to its temporary closure in 2006. But in 2009, it was reopened for adventure seekers, one of whom was 26-year-old John Edward Jones. John was an experienced caver, but he wasn't alone. That evening, just before Thanksgiving, he entered the cave with his brother Josh and several friends. It was supposed to be a fun exploration, a way to relive their childhood spelunking adventures. But John made a mistake that would cost him everything. As John moved through the winding corridors, he searched for a well-known section of the cave called the birth canal, a tight but manageable squeeze. But in the dim light, he took a wrong turn. Instead of the birth canal, he had entered an uncharted passage, one that was far narrower, far deadlier, and he didn't realize it until it was too late. John kept crawling forward, believing the tunnel would widen. It didn't. Instead, it became tighter, pressing against his chest and back, making it nearly impossible to breathe. Then, the worst happened. John exhaled to slide further, but when he tried to inhale, his body refused to move. He was stuck, completely immobilized. Panicked, John struggled, but every motion wedged him deeper. He was now upside down at a 70-degree angle, with his arms trapped at his sides. Blood rushed to his head, pressure built in his eyes. The walls of the cave seemed to close in, as if swallowing him whole. John's brother Josh found him first. He tried to pull him out, but it was no use. With no other choice, Josh rushed back to the surface and called for help. Soon, a full-scale rescue operation was underway. Over 130 rescuers arrived, racing against time. John had been trapped for hours, and being upside down for too long was extremely dangerous. His organs were slowly failing under the strain. Using a rope and pulley system, rescuers managed to pull John several inches upward. Hope surged. He was still alive, still speaking. Then, the pulley snapped. John plunged back into the hole, even deeper than before. His body twisted into an even worse position. The cave had won. John remained trapped for a total of 27 hours. Despite the best efforts of rescuers, there was no way to safely remove him without causing a collapse. His body was shutting down, his voice growing weaker. Then, silence. At 11:56 p.m. on November 25th, John Edward Jones was pronounced dead. His final resting place was where he had become trapped. The cave was sealed off permanently, filled with concrete to prevent another tragedy. Nutty Putty Cave became his tomb. John's story is a haunting reminder of the dangers lurking in the depths of the earth. Some places are simply not meant to be explored, and sometimes when the earth swallows a man whole, it never lets go. I can show you more. Mysteries, horrors, things you were never meant to see. But there's a price. Like and subscribe.